Gamesthetic episode 80. I'm Alex Light with SparkE3. If you're watching this on youtube.com/SparkE3, you see that we got a little bit of a different layout today. We're doing everything remotely because we're in the process of getting the new pod room set up over at the new place, so that's cool. Next week should be in the new studio, which is pretty dope. I got both the boys here with me. John, Zach, how you guys feeling today?
I'm doing good. Ready to get this because we got some interesting things to talk about after taking a week off.
Bingo. John, what about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little distracted. RLCS phase version 1 overtime happening right now. So
Fancy. If you could, first and foremost, go check us out on our website, SparkE3.com. We definitely appreciate that. You can sign up for the website for free, or you can sign up for $5 a month. You can get early access podcast episodes. Like right now when we're recording, AniMan Plus is already up for anyone that wants to check that out, so that's pretty dope. Same thing happens with Terrible Football Show, and of course this one as well. You can also go check out SparkE3shop.com to pick up some merch. Do have some new designs coming. Join the Discord, link down in the description below. Go follow us on Twitter at GameStaticPod, and then go check out the other shows, AniMan Plus, Terrible Football Show, and talk about movies and stuff. And Zach is right, we do have some interesting stuff to talk about today after taking a week off. Of course, last week we had the State of Play, which showcased Hogwarts Legacy. We recently had an article come out like yesterday from Bloomberg involving what's coming up with Sony here in like probably this next week. Kirby The Forgotten Land came out. Me and Zach's been playing a little bit of that. Not together, we haven't done the co-op mode yet, but we do plan to at some point. And Zach actually finished his first run of Triangle Strategy, so we're going to chat about that as well. And there are some other little tidbits that's popped up in the industry over these past week or so. So we definitely got a lot of good conversation. One little tidbit is here in a couple weeks we will take another break because that is when I'm moving into the new place. So it's probably just going to be a lot better to take a break from this show and possibly one of the other shows to get all that shit moved over. But next week we should be good to go, especially to talk about what's going on with Sony that's going to be popping out this week. Again, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. So, boys, before we jump into the show here today, anything that we want to chat about off the script first, like what we've been up to, how we feeling, what's going on?
I'll give you 2 guesses at what I've been doing.
Lost Ark.
Yes.
All right.
And
a
little bit of Triangle Strategy as well.
Yeah, I saw that you got about 20 hours into it.
It's a lot of that is probably about 4 or 5 of that's like leaving the Switch running time, because I did figure out if you're on the save screen or just in the menu and just leave the Switch on, it just keeps adding the time up.
Right.
And I just didn't turn my Switch off a few times. But yeah, I'm about to where you guys were when you guys talked about it previously.
Well, I'm still there. I have not been. Yeah.
I finished my first playthrough at 40 hours, so.
Yeah, I have not been back on because I've just been lazy and I haven't really wanted to get on and go grind at the encampment. But I do want to get back on. I just have not. But Zach, you beat it and started your second run. He kind of talked to me a little bit about what the second run is like, and I thought that was actually pretty interesting what you were telling me with how it's set up with how everything pretty much carries over.
Yeah, no, it's literally just a carryover because more or less, weirdly enough, it's an RPG freaking roguelite, because everything you earn in your first playthrough, whatever you have at the end, just carries right on through to the second playthrough. So items, weapons, skill gains, units you've recruited, and all that fun stuff. It literally just keeps going, and based on your difficulty, it keeps the difficulty level about whatever the average of your highest leveled party members is. The only real changes is that it now tells you what conviction you're choosing based on your choices and things like that, and actually tells you how to progress each conviction. And then once you get past the initial opening part of it, you can go to the encampment and talk to Archibald, who does the sundry shop, and there's a new command called Scout, which actually shows you how to unlock or recruit the rest of the characters that you have not acquired.
When you were telling me about it, yesterday or the day before?
Yeah.
I was actually getting pretty excited about that. I'm like, it actually seems like a pretty dope new game plus, basically.
I mean, yeah, and it keeps all your notes and whatnot, because it now that I know that, it also keeps like the notes and whatnot. It now makes sense why some of the choices during the branches, the first playthrough, you're screwed. Some of them you're just not going to be able to do because you don't have the information. Mm-hmm. But as you go through playthroughs and go to the different routes, you'll get information, I assume, which will unlock choices for you.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I was about to say, I mean, overall, though, I'm still having fun with it a bit here and there. I've probably definitely slowed down after finishing that first playthrough, though.
Right. Yeah, I can tell because I think I checked on earlier. It's like besides Kirby, you haven't played in a couple days, whatever, on the Switch. Because before that, like I swear, dude, you were on every day grinding.
I was.
Grinding.
I mean, the grind's honestly not bad because in that game, I mean, depending on your difficulty, all the main missions are or the fights are either 1 or 2 levels above whatever your main average party is.
Right.
And I mean, as long as you, and as I was telling you the other day, I literally just grinded the main quest for levels and learned how the AI works in it. So I can now path them, which makes it really easy.
Right. Well, for me, I just been playing more Fire Emblem. Did get Kirby. I also picked up Digimon Story for the Switch because that was on sale. I think I told both you boys that. But I don't know. I've had an itch to play that game here recently again. So looking forward to jumping into that at some point here soon. I think that's about all where I'm at on games at the moment. Mostly just Fire Emblem. I'm almost done with this run. I'm a few chapters away from beating this current run.
I was about to say, the only other thing I've been doing is TFT.
That's fair. John's just like Lost Ark.
Well, kind of. Yeah, I mean,
Kinda, yeah.
It's been jumping between Lost Ark and Triangle Strategy for the most part for the last week or so. I looked to like I was gonna log in and play some TFT, and then didn't end up doing that. Ended up just getting back on Lost Ark.
The Lost Ark grind never stops.
I will say, you talking about Fire Emblem has made me potentially want to do another playthrough soon.
Let's go. I mean, that's how it was for me. Like, you know, this Christina is playing Fire Emblem, right? And this is her first time playing it. She would always hit me up about like
that evil text message you sent me.
Bro, I know I am evil, man. But no, it's like she would like hit me up about this or this and this and this and this, just asking a bunch of questions, and I'm just like, my brain is like full blown Fire Emblem mode. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna want to try to run this character this way and train them this way and do this, and you know, because she's asking me a ton of, I'm just like, oh, fuck, I kind of want to play Fire Emblem. But the problem is she was borrowing my Fire Emblem, and naturally I went out and bought Fire Emblem again. I think it's like the 5th time I've bought this damn game. Like I've bought 3 houses so many times.
So wait, are those 3 cases that are chilling on your shelf there, are they empty?
Yeah, those are empty.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, those didn't come with games. I just bought those off eBay. Just empty cases, decorative. And I did notice recently they have 2 more that came out later. One of Yuri and one of Rhea. Fuck Rhea, I don't give a fuck about that, but I do want Yuri, so I'm gonna pick that up at some point.
Yeah, but then you know how it is. If you get Yuri, you have to get Rhea to complete the collection.
I hate Rhea.
He doesn't. He doesn't care about actually completing.
Not in that case, no, because I hate Rhea.
Well, then it just looks like shit.
That is true. It's not like a nice, nice thing where you have a center character. But fuck Rhea. She's a bitch. Yuri's cool though. I like Yuri. But yeah, no. In terms of buying it like 5 times, because I've bought it for other people as gifts because I really want them to play the game. They're like, yeah, I'll play it at some point. And then it's like I know I bought it for Jack, for example, because he really wanted to play it. He's like, yeah, I'll get it at some point. And it happened to be like right at his birthday. I'm like, fuck it, I'm buying it for you for your birthday. So just shit like that. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump to the show. Jump to the script. Some things we got lined up here. So first thing that I wanted to shout out is something just to watch for. Is that Microsoft has recently confirmed that it was hacked by the same group that targeted NVIDIA and Samsung. Obviously, that sucks, because there is a lot of personal information that's involved with those. But I just wanted to shout that out because we'll see what comes out of it. We've seen what's come out in the NVIDIA leak, where it's becoming like some of the biggest leaks in gaming history. So I just wanted to give that a little shout out real quick because we could see some stuff popping out over the next X amount of months. Who knows what they could be? Big announcements, obviously, whatever. It's still talking about Xbox. They recently revealed a new publishing division, all focused on cloud native gaming, and it is going to be led by Left 4 Dead and Portal developer, like the lead developer for Left 4 Dead and Portal. Cloud gaming, man, it sucks. Let's be real. It sucks right now, but we know that's kind of where the future's going to go. But Xbox, in terms of what Xbox has done in the gaming industry, they continue to try to do things to be innovative or ahead or whatever, because the Game Pass is a great example. No one fought years ago and, said on record they didn't think Game Pass would be sustainable. You know what I mean? Sony talks about that all the damn time today. But meanwhile, Game Pass, has like 20-something million subscribers, I think. Let's just assume, just for, the sake of my argument here, that most of them are Ultimate, $15 a month times 25 million a month. I mean, that's money, bro. So, I mean...
Yeah, no, that's tons of money.
Like,
I mean, the cloud gaming thing sounds interesting, but at the same time, I'm just thinking, so what is all that going to entail? Because we, of course, know just playing games off the cloud, like just server or whatnot, but what else can that lead into besides,
right.
like, saves and other things?
Yeah, see, that's going to be the cure. I think what it comes down to is it comes down to what one of Xbox's biggest missions, to be able to, like, play your games anywhere. I think that's what it really comes down to. Because, I mean, bro, you can play Game Pass on your fucking smart fridge. Like, that is, like, Game Pass, like Microsoft wants to just push this down your throat, and they want to push the fact that you can play your game in it everywhere. Because
Alexa, play Mass Effect 3.
Bingo. I don't know if they started this or not, but another example is like I want to say like I think we talked about it like a year and a half ago, so neither of you probably remember it, or at least John won't, Zach probably won't either. But at some point you're gonna start seeing smart TVs come with Game Pass built in, and one possibility is that they're gonna, like, this TV that's built in with Game Pass is gonna literally come with an Xbox controller. Like, Zach, do you remember that? I was talking about that.
Yeah, I vaguely remember, yes, talking about that and thinking at the same time, that's really odd.
Yeah, yeah. So
I was gonna say, hell, we talked about that like a couple months ago again.
Okay. So I mean that just goes back to, like, what I'm saying. Like, Xbox is really trying to push the ability for you to play your game anywhere. So them building a dedicated publishing division for cloud gaming and native cloud gaming, whatever. Like, I don't know. It is fascinating, but at the same time, it's very, like, you want to be hesitant about it because cloud gaming kind of sucks for the most part.
Well, it's very much one of those interesting things of, yes, we're where cloud gaming is more than likely going to progress in some form of fashion, just hasn't yet. So
Yeah.
we're very unsure where this division's going forward, but I am looking forward to seeing what they do.
Yeah.
The thing that I've just thought of with that is, yeah, say something like that where, like, a TV comes out hypothetically in the future where it has Game Pass or something that and comes with an Xbox controller. Man, just imagine all of these places that you're gonna have to go back in and re-sign into your accounts. Imagine changing a password and having to reconfirm it for every device that you go to.
Ah, damn, gotta re-sign back into Game Pass on my smart fridge.
I don't know. I just thought about that because especially if with the Sony announcement, imagine something like that ends up happening with them.
Right.
As well, you're gonna have you'll end up having these accounts on everything. Which I mean, it'll be nice when it's done, but I mean, any problems come up, and then it's gonna be a hassle.
True. Speaking of hassle, we did get the official confirmation that Suicide Squad was delayed. We saw a report about it, like, what? It was like a month ago or so.
Yeah, it was about a month ago.
I think it was from Bloomberg, if I remember correctly. But now we have the official confirmation from the developers that has in fact been delayed to spring of 2023. So big sad. I mean, now that we have the official confirmation, because I know you two, especially more than me, were looking forward to this game.
Yeah, when they first showed this game off, I don't remember what show it was on, but when they first showed it off, I don't know why, it's like I got really excited for it. It just looks fun.
Right.
And see, I didn't really get excited till the actual gameplay we got during the Game Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that just kind of raised it up for me. But yeah, I was already, like, looking forward to it, mainly because they're just crazy, goofy characters.
True.
And the gameplay for it made it look incredibly fun.
But hey,
it does look incredibly fun because Rocksteady's just very solid in those kinds of games. We've seen through the Arkham series, the 3 games they did, because I can't remember if they did that prequel one or not, or if that was someone else. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that in a year, and hoping to see more here this year.
Yeah, especially the gameplay they showed already looked pretty solid and pretty polished, but looking forward to seeing more where it's going to look even better, you know? So, but hey, at least we're getting Gotham Knights this year, though, you know, in terms of DC games, because Gotham Knights looks pretty dope. Looking forward to that one in October.
We looked into it. Honestly, last they said only 2-player co-op.
Oh, well. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
A little disappointing with that, but I mean, I'll take 2-player at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's at least co-op in it, which will be fun.
This past week, we also got the confirmation for the new Witcher, which I don't think... I mean, it is big news because it's like, oh, yeah, it's confirmed, but it's just like, you know it's going to come, you know? So it's not like it's anything that shocked anyone. But the biggest thing I feel like shocked people is that they're not using their in-house engine, the Red Engine. They're actually using Unreal Engine 5. So that is going to look insane. I'm not a massive Witcher fan. Like, I never got into The Witcher 3. And then, of course, like, probably 80% of the population, I didn't play the first 2 Witchers. But, you know, either way, it being with Unreal Engine 5 and that sort of universe is going to look absolutely insane.
I mean, I can't say anything against it. I mean, the Witcher games are fun. People have really gained a following since Witcher 3. And, I mean... hopefully it's not cyberpunk levels of development cycle.
I don't think they're going to let that ever happen again.
I don't think they would, considering within the time they announced cyberpunk and actually released it, they released 2 Witcher games.
True.
But I can only hope that it will look amazing and just continue the theme that is Witcher.
Right. But hey, there was a game announcement this week that caught mine and Zach's eye. This one looks really dope. We had the Quarry announced by Supermassive Games. This basically being like an Until Dawn spiritual successor is how it was kind of being marketed. You know, it's the same sort of kind of concept that Until Dawn was. You know, with that, you know, a bunch of actors and stuff. I only recognized a couple of them, like Justice Smith, for example, who was in like the Pikachu movie and a couple other things that I've seen him in. But yeah, I mean, this game actually looks pretty looks pretty good. Zach, what was your thoughts on this? And John, yours as well. I don't know if John, I don't know if you would want to get this because I know you're not a big fan of horror games.
Well, like Until Dawn, I never played Until Dawn.
You watched
but
it, though.
I watched more playthroughs of that game than just about or than any other game that I didn't watch speedruns of.
Alex, I mean, it looks good. I'm very curious, seeing as they are marketing as an Until Dawn successor, considering they still have the last game in the Dark Anthology that they've been doing.
Right.
Which some of the things that they said was going to be in the Quarry, they actually took from their Dark Anthology thing. So I expect you and me to sit down at some point and do a online play of it and have the horror version of Date Night.
I still want to do the Dark Anthology with you. Like, I still want to play co-op on that because it's got co-op, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it
I
has a
still wanna
system
do
where
that.
pretty much however many players each takes control of a person.
I still want to do that. It sounds fun.
That sounds horrible.
I mean, it sounds great, John. You should join us.
Yeah, it'll be one great horror date night.
I mean,
There's 5 characters in each one.
I mean, I would join you. I just wouldn't enjoy it.
Speaking of, go ahead.
I was about to say, Quarry comes out in June. It's now going to April. We can get some plays in, do all 3 leading up to the Quarry.
Let's do it. Speaking of horror date night, John, I mean, you know, me and you, we still have another Paranormal Activity movie to watch. You know, if we're going to talk horror date nights. So we can have that horror date night, then turn around and play Dark Anthology. It'll be a great time.
Yeah, but you know, if we're gonna watch the newest one, we might as well have to go back and catch ourselves back up to where we are.
There's a new one?
Yeah, even though
Always a new one.
Yeah. Well, they were supposed to end the series with Dark Dimension, and then they made a new one like last year. So I sent it to John, and I was just like, sigh. Well, we got to do this again, man.
Did we watch the Dark Dimension? Or whatever?
Yes,
because
I
don't even
bought
remember it.
I bought it, and you and I watched it because that's for some reason our thing is that we watch Paranormal Activity together.
Yeah, man, every couple's got to have their thing.
That's true. Speaking of having our thing, John, it's not dead. It's not dead.
It is.
No, it's not. It's real.
Come on, we got a teaser trailer.
It's real.
We got a zoom in on some PNGs is what we got.
Hey, there was like one snippet of gameplay which told us that it's a tactics game. We did get a teaser for Digimon.
We had a screenshot showing us a tactics game 2 years ago.
No. We've had that one banner for 2 years, first off.
No, there's some screenshots from like 2 years ago.
Shut up. Don't back him up.
I know I'm right on this.
But Digimon Survive got a teaser. That's the bottom line. The game's not dead. Look, that's the bottom. The game is not dead, like John and I thought, especially John. John was convinced the game didn't exist.
They have something for it. This is the first thing they've shown off in, what is this, going on, is this 2 years or 3 years now?
I think 2.
I think 2.
2 years now. I mean, I'm still not sold that they've got a game to be released, but they've got something that they're willing to say, hey, we have this game isn't completely dead. We're gonna do something with it eventually.
It just becomes a visual novel.
See, the biggest thing about like the teaser, like, is they still didn't even give a window for release.
I know. You said that thing to me, and I watched it, and I was like, oh my man, you guys.
Like, you couldn't even give us like a 2023 window. Like, come on. Like, how much longer is it gonna take finishing this game? Like, for real.
About 4 years.
Shut up. I want this game sooner than that.
They're wanting to compete with Cyberpunk for development cycle.
I can tell. No, it was funny. I got the day that came out. I got on Twitter, and you guys know Seabad, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a massive Digimon fan. Like, he collects the TCG and stuff, whatever. And he was the one that shared it, and he had the same sort of response as like me and John, where his quote tweet was like, "Oh my God, the game's not dead." It's like a red alert. There's an update for this game.
I mean, it might as well have been dead with how little we knew about it. So
yeah, I know. But anyway, looking forward to more information, a year from now, I guess.
Hey, I was going to say, we got our information for 2022.
There you go. We're not going to get anything else for the rest of this year. Honestly, that's probably legit. If we're since they didn't give us a actual release year in the teaser, yeah, probably. That's our only update.
Hell, in 2021, the only information that we got the entire year was them when they finally said it's not coming out this year.
It got delayed, so I guess. Anyway, all right, let's hop over to the next thing here. So Bloomberg came out with an article, like I mentioned earlier. It came out, I believe it was yesterday, talking about like literally this upcoming week. Sony is set to finally reveal their Project Spartacus, which has been we've talked about it before. Set to be like their new like subscription service that's essentially combining PS Plus and PS Now. And I think I gave like a little plug about this maybe last episode, I can't remember, where it's like, we knew this was coming because there were some people reporting on their accounts that they noticed that the two was already merged early by accident. That shit happens. Obviously, then of course, obviously with this whole move, like months back, we heard the news, that PS Now cards have been getting removed from stores for a while. So this has all been building up. We've been building up for this. This apparently it's going to set to debut with a splashy lineup of hit games, quote from Bloomberg directly, as well as it gives more like the more expensive tier is going to give you access to like demos and be able to like stream games natively, stuff like that. With this, it's going to be set to, like I said, be like the multiple tiers, probably the 3 different tiers to unlock different versions where you can play the retro games of PS1, PS2, and I think PSP. Now, obviously I'm leaving out PS3 because there's been like multiple reports where it's like PS3 is going to be on there, PS3 is not going to be on there. But PS1, PS2, and PSP has been consistently talked about. I'm excited to see what this is, and I'm more excited to see how they're going to, I guess, combine it necessarily. The two tiers, because people that already have PS Plus now, or PS Plus for already paid for, like let's say me, to November. And the reason I'm also curious how that's going to work is because there's one guy that I follow on Twitter. He's a game leak or whatever. He has his PlayStation Now or PlayStation Plus, sorry, paid up until like 2033.
Oh God!
So he keeps posting that. He's just like, Sony, I need to know if this is carrying over or not. But I'm excited to see what it is. Obviously, I'm gonna, I guess, technically already have it, and I'll probably get the the top tier immediately. If it's whatever, let's go for it. But the one thing that's gonna be really interesting to see how this goes when they finally reveal it is it's been constantly rumored and leaked as the Game Pass competitor, or the Game Pass answer, or whatever. But this is not going to have like day one games, for new releases like Game Pass does. So I feel like when we get this reveal and they stress that again, that, oh, this is not going to have God of War Ragnarok day one or Spider-Man 2 day one or whatever. I feel like it's going to immediately get a lot of backlash and a lot of controversy. It's like, okay, well, how are you going to call it the Game Pass competitor? I don't know. Sony just doesn't want to get to that point. But either way, I'm excited to see what it's going to be. I mean, how are you guys feeling about it?
I mean, it could still be a competitor because, I mean, they don't necessarily need day one releases. The big thing, at least for me, I would say some other people, would be catalog itself. What is your catalog? Because, I mean, I have Game Pass and I go through the catalog periodically, and like maybe a handful of games catch my eye, and the rest are sort of like, they're there.
For me, for Game Pass, like a lot of the games catch my eye, but it's one of those things like, I want to play you, but I don't want to play you right now.
Yeah, because it's like my Game Pass, just looking at it, I've got like 12 games downloaded right now, and I actually play like 3 of
Lost
them.
Ark?
I rotate them in there every now and then, which I did one of the games I did download and try was one of Alex's most anticipated games of the year, Tunic.
I did play that as well. I didn't get very far, but I did play. I will say the gameplay was pretty fun.
I got bored of it very fast.
Gameplay was fun,
it seemed very exciting for like the first like 30 minutes, and I was like, I'm bored of this now.
Then he went, why am I playing as a fox?
Yeah, I was like, this is weird. It's not fun for me right now. I mean, I was just circling around. I was exploring. Like I said, it was fun, and then maybe I'll go back to it. But
I mean, that's kind of how I felt on it, honestly. I mean, it was fun. Gameplay was very fun. Gameplay was very fluid. You really felt all the attacks that you're doing. But it's just like, I told Zach when I played it, where it's just like, it literally just throws you in the game. Like, which is a good thing and also kind of a bad thing, because it's just like, you're a gamer, you know what your objective is, right? You can piece 2 and 2 together, but I don't know. It just throws you into the game so quickly where it's just like, you get to a point where you're like what John said, so I was just kind of exploring. It's like, this is fun, but why am I playing you? That's kind of how I felt too.
I also have like the signposts in the game that kind of tell you the controls and that, but half of it wasn't translated.
I know, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
it's just you see a picture of it, and then, or it's like it shows a button and then a picture, and there's some text, but the text is not in English.
Nope.
Oh wow.
But I think it's like, I don't know what it was. I'm not an intelligent man here, but I think what they were going for was like in-game dialogue, like whatever the language is in the game.
But it's like I'm looking at it, I'm like, I mean, I understand what you're trying to tell me here, but can you tell me so I know?
Right.
But yeah, no, it's like I said, I go through there. I mean, every now and then I scroll through whenever they add games on a Game Pass. It's nice. Most of them I'm not going to download. Or I'll download them with the intention of playing them, and then they'll sit there for 2 months before I touch them.
Right. Is that how Guardians is going to be? Because I think you downloaded Guardians, right?
I did, but Guardians is after I beat Triangle Strategy.
So, give it about a year?
Depends on how much I play Triangle Strategy.
Depends on how much you play Lost Ark, honestly.
Depends on whether Digimon Survive comes out.
We're good on that. It's not.
John, don't be like that. The game's coming out.
Not this year.
No, not this year. But either way, Project Spartacus, though, I am cool. I'm excited to see what it is, and I'm more excited to stop calling it Project Spartacus. That's gonna be that's gonna be one of the low key exciting parts. But either way, it's gonna be cool to see the full details on this thing, and honestly, also price points, of course. Very curious of the price points on this, since it's gonna be 3 different tiers. So yeah, we'll see that this week. Gonna be pretty dope. Zach, do you want to chat about Triangle Strategy? You already chatted about it earlier with the New Game Plus, but you did complete your first run. So overall, what's your thoughts on the story necessarily, and how the game kind of progressed for you, and what, I'm curious, what chapter did you end on? Because this game has 5 different endings, whatever. Just overall, how'd your run go?
I mean, overall, I had a good time with it. The story was fairly, I'd say, interesting. It wasn't anything that just blew me out of the water in terms of narrative or anything, but it did get to some points where I was just like, when I sent you that picture the first time, I had 3 choices.
Yep.
And it was then that I really went, what do I want to do with this? And me sort of thinking ahead of, based on where the story has gone and now knowing how this sort of flows, how is this going to go with based on the choices and whatnot?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess I did feel more invested in the story once it hit those third choices and you start seeing more conflict and friction actually forming amongst your main crew of people who take the spotlight during most of the story.
Right.
Still, the best part was when I recruited my bandit girl. Because I told you, Alex, like when the first fight against Trish and her father, I saw them and I went, I want those 2.
Yeah.
And I eventually got at least the Trish. I was like, okay, I'm happy. We're good.
I'll take it. Win.
As for actual chapter ending, 20 chapters was how my first one ended.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I you and I chat privately, and I knew that neither of us were getting the golden route, because we both chose to burn the houses, and that was one of the choices not to do, was don't burn the houses.
But now knowing that all your stuff carries over, I am very aware of how that fight can actually go now.
Okay.
I don't think it's possible on a first playthrough unless you're just really dedicated to it.
Do you not get the gold playthrough if you only burn some of the houses?
If you burn any of the houses, you will not get the golden playthrough.
Correct.
I'm not getting the golden playthrough.
No. That was a hard mission, bro.
I tried to not burn any houses the first time, and I was like, I'm just getting my ass kicked here.
Yeah, I know. I lured that bitch up to the top, and I'm like, burn. And I told Zach, I was like, this game would probably kick me in the nuts, and she wouldn't die, and she would just take heavy damage and still be there. But so whenever she went away, I'm like, oh, thank God. Because that was a hard one, bro. But yeah, that's you have to keep all the houses not burnt to get the golden route.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, on my first playthrough, my best run with it was when I had the ice mage. He had ice wall, and I spent every turn with him and Avlor just boosting him, and I just made an ice wall in front of that pathway she's on, and I just blocked that pathway off and took out the other side.
That's genius, honestly. I probably need to do that next time.
But I mean, overall, I enjoyed my playthrough and everything, each of the characters. It does sort of fall in an interesting thing of once you sort of get your play style, you tend to lean towards certain characters. Because, I mean, you and me talked about it, like the main cast, they're actually all very good characters.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, if you really want to, you can just play with them and you'll do fine. But I like interspersing some of the other ones just for different versatility.
Right.
But I definitely say there is like a main 6 that I consistently use almost every fight.
Mm-hmm. One thing that you said that I find is very interesting, because I find it interesting because you and I, we're on an island about this, where you said that the story didn't necessarily blow you away. Like, it was a good story, but it wasn't outstanding to you, whatever. That's how I feel. And I haven't beat the story, but with where I am, that's kind of how I feel. But man, you and I, we are on an island when it comes to that.
Really?
Yes, dude, people rave that the story is unbelievable.
I couldn't give a shit about the story, honestly, right now. It's the only thing I'm worried about is whatever Anna tells me.
That's fair, dude. Anna's great.
Anna's ridiculous. Her whole kit's stupid to give her to you at the beginning of the game.
True. But yeah, dude, we are on an island about that opinion, about us thinking the story is mediocre. We are 1,000% on our own on that one.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's mediocre. I mean, I think it's a decent story, but I don't know. It doesn't blow me away. I mean, I see the points of it and everything, and sort of just the whole overlapping intrigue and whatnot. But maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe with seeing some of the other branches, it might come to me. Because I feel like a big thing of this Triangle Strategy story is also the branching narratives, and I feel like there's some. I think I would assume through the Golden Route allows sort of a full circle sort of thing.
Right.
One thing I wanted to ask you is Does there continue to be like sharp difficulty spikes, kind of like the Chapter 7 fight?
Not if you can consistently go to the encampment and do those.
So even where it's like, because I did a little bit of encampment grinding before that, and even then, it's still.
Which one was Chapter 7, the Avlora fight?
That's the Avlora fight.
That one is specifically just spiked just because of the situation, the difficulty of the event itself. Like, besides that fight, I literally had no difficulty in any other fight.
Yeah,
Besides,
so far, it's like, I mean, just because I'm in like Chapter 10 right now.
yeah.
And so far, it's like the beginning of the fight, it's basically just been like, okay, well, in this fight, we're going to split you up over here. And you split your team up into like 3 or 4 different groups or something. Or people are constantly coming in as reinforcements, like entrapping you or something. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like my team is extremely powerful right now. You guys aren't a threat to me.
Yeah, no, the big thing with most of the combat encounters I saw through first playthrough is literally just positioning and seeing where new units spawn at. I mean, they add a few other things depending on what route you go, which force you to have to move a bit quicker and maybe put yourself out of position to get something done. But besides that initial Avlora fight in the town, none of them are that significantly difficult because that's the only story-based one that's like, yeah, no, we're really outnumbered and should have no means of actually winning this.
Which I think is a nice touch to the game.
Well, one thing I was going to say is because one thing Zach said about putting yourself out of position. That's one thing I like about this game is there's not permadeath. So it makes tactically like killing off one of your units in battle a good strategy sometimes. Like throw them out there, let everybody go after them, and it just, you know what? Then you can clean it up from there.
What's the shield guy's name?
Eridor.
Eridor. I want you to know he was a sacrificial pawn, and that dude burned with that bitch at the top.
Okay, I haven't done that.
God, that's fucking like Eridor. I think rarely died for me because he was such a beefy person. I literally just taunt everything, and he's surrounded where the taunted characters can't reach him, so they don't do shit.
Yeah, he was in the house. He was in the range of the house at the top on that chapter, and I'm just like, sorry, bud, we're lighting this shit to fire because she finally got in there and was attacking. I'm like, you're going down with the shit, bud. I'm sorry.
So that's not what I was talking about. I'm just talking about like if you find yourself like, oh, you didn't think about everything and like you just kind of went in. It's like kind of retreating out or trying to take back control of the battlefield. Sometimes you can just throw a unit forward, sacrifice them, and then everything's settled. It's like you got the momentum back, even though you just killed a unit.
Yeah, and I can sort of feel you there because like on at least the path I ended up going, the last chapter, the last fight is literally, it puts you in such a shitty starting position. Because not only do you have shitty positioning, it's also an escort mission, and you can't let any of the NPC characters die, otherwise you immediately lose.
Wait, what chapter is that?
It was the final chapter in the route I went.
Oh, that sounds fucking terrible.
I mean, it was initially, but then I figured out pathing and everything, it wasn't that bad. And with Anne and Triss, those two can literally just, were able to just leap up a cliff and kill off all the archers with just the two of them. I was like, now I just hold on this bridge and watch them walk to their deaths to me.
Well,
yeah, then the fact that you just carry over all your units is great. So,
right. Well, overall, what would you give this game? What would you rate it?
I'd probably give it like an 8.5.
8.5. Good rating. Good rating. Good rating. I would rate, with where I'm at in the game, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10 personally. I mean, I think it's a very beautifully done game. I feel like I do feel like the story could obviously be a little bit better, and most notably, oh god, that English cast is terrible.
I've gotten used to it.
So you never changed. You didn't change to Japanese.
No,
I haven't either. But
I mean, Japanese is fine. They're very animated.
I want to get on there and do the Japanese, but. Well, anyway, let's hop over to Kirby. I don't feel like there's going to be a lot to talk about here. I mean, it's just Kirby game?
There's a lot to talk about here.
Okay, maybe for you, not for me. All right, well, you start then. What's your thoughts on Kirby? Well, I don't know how much time have you already dumped into Kirby. I've only beat the first two levels.
Oh, I beat the first 2 zones.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we need to discuss this genocide bringing ball of death.
Before we do that, can we just discuss how incredible the anime opening was?
The animation opening was very good.
I loved that, bro. Where like you get into the car mode and it's just going through like an anime opening.
Yeah.
Bro, that killed me. That was absolutely incredible.
I mean, it was very entertaining opening. I mean, all the animations and everything for the game so far have been very good. They're interspersed considering through the game so far. I mean, that opening scene, but when he was being teleported was very good.
Right.
As he's just walking along enjoying his day, all I could think is, oh, there's that pink ball of death. We're going to commit genocide on another planet. Because I don't know. I've made this game probably a lot darker than it needs to be.
No, you're doing God's work right now.
It's like the entire time while I'm playing, I was just like, so we're fighting some group called the Animal Pack, and it's literally just a bunch of animals. And Kirby's going around pretty much turning them into star energy and essentially offing them to save the Waddle Dees, who they had invaders from some other planet. What they do, they capture them. What's Kirby do? He kills everybody.
Murders them one by one.
Like, the entire time I'm playing, I'm just going, when you really think about this is sort of dark.
It is. You're right.
And then you got Bandana Waddle Dee just chilling back in town. I was like, hey, Kirby, I'm right here. Whenever you need me, I'll be right there to stab somebody with you.
It's like, I got you whenever you're ready to go, bud. I got you. And I got to that. I'm just like, bro, me and Zach, we got to hit this up. We got to go murder some people.
But I mean, overall, I've been enjoying it. I haven't played a Kirby game in a long time.
Right.
But just so I was playing it, just going through, I was like, am I really be the good guy here?
The gameplay feels very good, though. I will say that. Like the actual, like it does feel,
yes.
it feels so stupidly smooth. Which that's one of the big things. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a Kirby game. You know, it's a 3D platformer now, basically. 3D adventure game, however you want to refer to it. But the gameplay does feel pretty dope. I do like the gameplay quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I've enjoyed it. Even like the first 2 boss fights I've done. I mean, they've been fairly simple and enjoyable. Just feels nice and learning the boss movements and everything. Because like with each of the levels, you collect Waddle Dees, and there's like certain objectives you got to do. And like if you beat a level without completing an objective, it reveals it to you. But on the boss ones, it only reveals them one at a time. Which I didn't actually complete any of them the first time, so I don't know if you can still just get it, like the regular missions, or you actually have to do them each one at a time or not.
Right.
But I mean, overall, it's still enjoyable and everything. Haven't had any real difficulties with it yet so far.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I noticed very quickly on the first 2 levels is like the lack of difficulty, and I'm not knocking the game for it, you know, because I understand, you know, it's a game meant for children, you know. I mean, I get it, but even with the wild mode, it's not very wild, if you ask me. But I mean, again, I get it, you know, I get it. I'm not gonna knock the game for it, but. I mean,
to be honest, it starts scaling up once you get past the first zone because, I mean, as you said, it is an adventure platformer, so it's more of the getting past obstacles aspect so far for me rather than dealing with any, like, enemies.
Right. But yeah, no, it is pretty fun so far. I may play some more tonight, or I may just chill and play some Fire Emblem. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see what I do here in a little bit. Zach shaking his head.
All these new games out, and he just keeps playing Fire Emblem that he's played 4 times.
I know. I know. I have a problem. Okay, like that's where my mind is right now is Fire Emblem, and I blame Christina a lot on that because she just keeps hitting me up about Fire Emblem stuff. But that is where my mind is at. So I don't know. May play some Kirby later. May play some Fire Emblem. We'll see. Either way, Kirby is pretty fun though. Looking forward to seeing how the rest of the game plays out. Especially since there is like a lot of post-game stuff apparently from what I've seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's from what I've seen. There's actually a decent amount of post-game stuff, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
That should be interesting, considering it's literally everything is co-op, so.
Yeah. All right, let's move over to the final topic for the day, which, of course, is the Sony State of Play from last week. So we're a little behind the ball here. I wouldn't think we're going to drag on this forever, because we are kind of behind on this since we took a break. But that was involving Hogwarts Legacy. Finally got a lot of gameplay. It was like 14 minutes of gameplay, which that's pretty dope.
It was a large majority gameplay, which was nice.
Yeah, like it's always dope to get like a lot of gameplay for something like like this, where it's like in full detail, them just going through, showing it, explaining it, and just kind of breaking it down. And really, some of the best ones is when they literally sit down and just play the game. That's always some dope shit. But I do feel like if anyone, and I've seen it over the last week, and we're definitely not going to be the first or the last. Like when it comes to you want to approach to talk about this game, I feel like it is important to address the big controversy behind it, because there is a massive controversy, because of course it is a Harry Potter game and everyone hates J.K. Rowling now because of everything that she likes to put on social media. We will address it very, very briefly here. When it comes to this, I get it's a touchy topic. I get it 100%, right? And it's one of those cases of, can you separate the art from the artist? If you can, cool. If you can't, also cool, because fuck J.K. Rowling, right? Kind of a piece of shit. Not kind of, but is. So I get it. I understand if people don't want to support the game. I get that 100%. But I will say this, from everything that I've kind of seen about the game and how Avalanche is approaching, how they're marketing this game, number one, they have flat out said that she has nothing to do with the game. Number one, first and foremost. They have come out on record saying that. And I understand that, it's her IP. She owns it, so she's going to get some sort of money, because I've seen a lot of people say, like, oh, I'm not buying this day one. I'm going to buy it used later because I want her to get as, least money as possible. And I have no idea how that all plays out. But if I had to take a guess based on kind of how this sort of stuff works when you're making a game for an IP, where you kind of basically have to get the project approved by the owner. For an example, Sony got the basically the go-ahead to create a game on a Marvel character. Then they went to Insomniac. It's just like, who do you want to create? And they picked Spider-Man. And that brings us to where we are now. It's kind of the same thing. There's an idea. They pitch it. They get the approval. They go from there. So honestly, like, if that is your take on it, I get it 100%, especially since we don't know the full details on that. But I'm willing to bet that she probably was already cut a check for this game getting even the approval and the go-ahead. I don't think she's going to probably get like royalty per unit sold. I could be wrong, of course. I don't know. But based on how how Avalanche has approached this game, with, she has nothing to do with the game, nothing, she, in any capacity, she's not involved with this project. I would probably think that she was probably given an upfront check to get the approval for the game, to get funded, to get going, get the blessing per se. So that's just what I kind of know, following, people within the gaming industry that's talked about this. So again, what it comes down to is if you can separate the art from the artist. If you can, cool. If you can't, also very understandable. And that's kind of my take on it. If people want to go out and support the game because you're supporting the developers that spend the time on this game. If you don't want to support the game because it is Harry Potter related and J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit, that's also very acceptable. I'm not going to judge someone either way for supporting the game or not, because again, there are people that can separate the art from the artist, and that's just one of these cases, is if you can do that or not. With that said, boys, like I said, 14 minutes of gameplay, a lot shown off with this game, including a release window. That was an interesting thing there, is that we did not get a release date, but a release window, which was just later this year. I feel like the release date was something that everyone was kind of anticipating with this and did not get it. So it is kind of curious to see, number one, if it comes out this year, because I feel like that leaves it open for interpretation where it could get delayed, kind of like how Breath of the Wild 2 is marketed as 2022, and he just says, we're going to aim for 2022. We'll see how it goes. Kind of the same thing. But yeah, 14 minutes of gameplay, really dove into what this game is going to consist of. What was you boys' thoughts on the entire state of play, and just kind of general thoughts here?
I mean, the entire time watching the gameplay, all I could think is bully with magic.
Bro, that's actually a fair point.
Because literally you're going to school, going to classes and whatnot, and doing the classes to, I assume, get better perks and whatnot. Then you have Hogsmeade and other areas where you can run around and bully you out of the town, and then you just go around. I enjoyed in the trailer what it said. It's the 1800s in the wizarding world. Things are different. And I was just like, yeah, a fifth-year student can just go around killing people.
Yeah. Like one of the things watching it, I'm looking at it, I'm going, I don't understand what's happening in this combat right now.
That was sort of something interesting. Is like there seems to be a fairly button-esque combat system, but seems like there's some ticks here and there figuring out what to do.
Yeah, I can't tell like when they're just firing spells off. It's like they're firing a little bolt at them over and over again in a lot of these combo clips, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're doing. I don't know if you're just hitting them with the same spell or changing it or what's happening here, but I don't know. It looks really interesting. And I don't know, the class, having to go to classes and that, yeah, apparently you go to the classes, and I assume as you advance through the story, you learn different spells and stuff from doing that, which then just allows you to do more of the outside of the school exploration from the looks of it.
Yeah, that's sort of what it's seeing, because mentioned in combat, not only did you have like the spells, counters, and whatnot, it also mentioned like, we'll take what you learned from class. Now you have plants that beat the crap out of people. Hey, now you have a potion that turns your body to stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that without them wanting to reveal like what part of the story is, they're just like, their explanation for it in the video, because I watched it a little before we started, was you have magic that none of your professors can understand.
Yeah.
And it's like, when they're talking about, they're like, you have these powerful finishers, plus part of your own magic that no one else can do, and they call the thunder
Lightning.
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, I guess that's a thing that I'm gonna be able to do. That guy's clearly dead now.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting how they kind of further explore this power that only you can do. Because, I mean, like, that was one of the big things that they stressed, like you just pointed out. It's like the power that only you can do. Another thing they constantly stressed is that you're a fifth-year student, which, you know, just enrolling, which is kind of weird, whatever. Like, they were really stressing those points throughout the entire state of play, which I thought was kind of interesting.
The other thing they slightly stressed, not as much, but was like, you decide the fate of the wizarding world, and they sort of cemented it at the end where it's like, or maybe you don't do the good side, and it shows them off somebody with the
Avada Kedavra
death spell. Yeah, with the death spell. I was just like, so you can go evil? Because it's games like this where like they always give you options like, you can join the evil side, then you choose, and it's like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's are you actually gonna let me be evil and start killing people, or is that like at the end of the game I get to make a decision and it's a cutscene kill?
Yeah, see, that's going to be the big question, because the moment that they had that pop up and he used that spell, I'm just like, okay, are we going to get to go down that path though? Like, are we going to get to be a piece of shit, or is it just like what John just said? Is it just part like part of a story cutscene or something? Like, that's going to be the part that's going to be really interesting about it, is if you can actually really choose your path or not.
And then one of the other things I thought was interesting watching it is they were emphasizing the using the spells that you learn in class to solve puzzles and that. And then they show like there's a portrait in just like in the hallway.
Oh yeah.
That he used Accio on, and it lowers like a little thing at the top of it down, and then it opens up this secret passageway. It's like, is it good? Because in the clip, it's not very clear what happens until he uses the spell. It doesn't show anything. It's like, is that shit gonna be there, or is there gonna be like a glowing light going, here, this is a secret? Because that's the two ways things tend to go. Either shit doesn't get found, or it's a very obvious, hey, I probably need to do something right here.
Based on that thing they showed, I feel like that one's going to be a thing of they show you how to grab ledges with Accio, and it's just like there's some sort of something that you can notice to see it. But I mean, I assume by saying that there's going to be some hidden rooms and stuff like that across the game, because from what they showed, it seemed like exploration is going to be a big thing in between the classes and whatnot, just outside of the school and actually inside the school as well.
Yeah.
With how they were describing it. The sort of other thing I'm sort of curious about is if there's going to be any changes of your character based on what house you go into, because they did take the time to show off that yes, you will be able to explore each rooms of the houses and whatnot.
Yeah, because it starts off with it basically showing the character, like you can create a character, and then you get sorted into the house, and it's like, okay, well, this is weird that I'm a 5th-year student getting a sorting hat put on my head.
Yes.
To be sorted. Second, is there any sort of like choice there? Like how are we gonna know what we're gonna do, or is it just gonna random us one? Because it can't just random us one.
Well, I'm hoping at least it's going to be stat based, and I assume based on whichever house you get increased to a stat.
I assume stat based, or like the ever popular like, here's 3 questions, give the answer to them.
Kill me if it's that.
I'm hoping it's not that. I
Yeah.
would prefer if it's like a stat based thing where, like you said, where you create your character, choose like pick how you want to pick your initial starting for it, and then based off that, you're more likely to do one.
And also, the whole 5th-year sorting hat thing makes me curious. I was just like, so I thought it was odd too, the whole 5th-year student thing, and you're coming in late. I was like, so you're like a transfer student from one of the other wizarding schools?
You see, I was curious that too. Like, how are you necessarily a 5th-year student? You know, because they stress that nonstop.
Well, I don't know if it's what it's going to end up being, but from what it sounded like, the mysterious magic that you have is like you have that, and then you're like, maybe I should learn how to control this, and you go to school.
And just naturally, just like they have like some test, like, well, you know this, so you're just going to be automatically a 5th-year student.
Right.
It's probably just how old you are.
Yeah. I will.
Because it was sort of funny with each teacher's like, oh, look who it is.
The 5th-year student. I will also say I am with you guys. I am very curious about the sorting though, because that was one of my first thoughts when they were showing it off, and then they showed off the sorting, and they even showed off like the different rooms, like you guys already mentioned, whatever. Like, I am curious, how is the sorting going to necessarily work? Like, if it's just going to be something stupid like the questions thing, that's going to be kind of lame. Hopefully it'll be something stat related, but I am very, very, very curious how they're going to handle the sorting, because that will obviously, depending on each house and what you do with it and everything, I'm curious if that's going to really open the game up for like, replayability, do multiple playthroughs and try to get into another house. You know what I mean? Like, what is each house? What are they going to offer you in terms of like the environments that you're in or whatever? So I am very curious about that. Another random thing I'm curious about is is there going to be Quidditch in this game? I saw a lot of people asking about that.
It looked like it may be a mini game, because they did show someone set up in a Quidditch uniform, but there's definitely going to be broomstick controls of some sort, so I wouldn't doubt that there's going to be some small Quidditch mini game.
Yeah, true. They did show you flying in there, didn't they?
Yeah, it's like that's one of the big things they showed is like flying on a broomstick across the fields, like traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if it's in there, I don't expect it to be a big part of the game.
Right.
And the one thing I do want to mention with when they were showing on the flying, it actually showed off that the map might actually be pretty decently sized.
They did kind of touch on that a little bit too, where they wanted a decent sized map for the game.
Yeah, because I think the big thing there is what you're actually doing in the school. I think is much smaller than everything outside of the school. Because from the way they were making it sound, is a lot of the game, or the big crux of the game, is finding out this mystery about the goblins if they're trying to revolt or something. Which, if that's the case, I mean, you're just going to school to kind of learn and get more powerful, essentially, to then go out and explore and try to solve this mystery.
So literally what it is you go to school, crush goblins, destroy evil wizards and sorceresses.
Yes. And throw exploding barrels at people for...
That was mean as fuck. So As a 5th-year student, you are definitely killing people. We're just like combo, grab this person out of the air, then flamethrower. I was like, they are dead as fuck.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull you over to me, flamethrower you, and just for good measure, hit you with the exploding barrel.
Seems a little overkill, but okay.
The combat, which once we actually see more on it, seems like it'll be fairly interesting to string things together. My question will be, will it be necessary to string things together? Is there going to be a simple way to do it where you won't want to bother with comboing?
Right.
I assume they'll be like I assume they'll be like the heavy combo style, like the sneaky, like try to bypass people, or like basically some sort of status effect style, and then probably the big hit, like big one hit style from the sound of it, because they did say there's different skills, there's different talents, or something to that extent, like perk points or something.
Yeah.
Like that. So I assume that customizing your playstyle is like, do I want to actually be the spell slinging wizard, or do I want to be the guy that just hits him with one big shot?
Or can I be the botanist? Can I just like not actually use my wand and just throw plants at them?
Yeah,
Just have the plants take care of it.
That might be fun too. Because I assume that there's a style, like some sort of subset for all of that, where you can have like skills or perks associated with it to make that playstyle stronger.
Right. I mean, overall, the game looks pretty. I will say this: the game looks a lot more ambitious than I was expecting. I will say that. Like coming into this, like, and seeing everything they showed, like, bro, it does look a lot more ambitious than I was even coming close to expecting out of this. Another thing that I thought was really interesting, and I am curious as hell how it's going to work and how it's going to look like, but they didn't announce this or reveal this until this state of play. Up till this point, this has not been revealed, but this game is going to switch, and it's going to switch on a cartridge, not as a cloud game. So I am curious as hell how that's going to work, but the pre-orders are up for it.
It's going to work great.
Okay, yeah. All right.
It'll only crash your initial factory switches once every couple minutes.
Right.
Imagine if you could play the game with like taking it and actually waving your hands around.
Oh, God, yes! Come on.
You're not going to be able to, but imagine.
But see, to do that, they're probably going to sell you like a special like Labo kit where you can make a wand out of your Joy-Con.
2022, the Labo wand.
Yes, let's go.
But yeah, I did see the Switch announcement as well, and I figured that was going to be something you're like, what the fuck?
As everyone is, it's like, how the hell, especially since it's on like a cartridge, it's not a cloud game. Like, well, how the hell is this going to work?
Their cloud games don't work either.
I know, their cloud games eat butt, but that's not the point. The cartridge is going to be, I'm so curious on how the cartridge is going to work. I really am, but yeah, exactly. But no, the game does look pretty interesting though. I still have a lot of questions, and I'm just kind of curious to see what's more is going to come out of it. Because like I said, it's fucking way more ambitious than I was expecting out of this game. Because this whole time, it's just like, I couldn't help but to feel like, oh yeah, this game's going to eat butt. Like it's going to look bad. Like it's going to be kind of like bare bones sort of thing. But I don't know. Here we are. I did see also where they came out and did confirm that no, there's not any microtransactions, because naturally we're at the state of gaming today where that's a question for everyone.
You know why that was brought up, right?
Why?
Because there's the rumor requirement, which is supposed to act as kind of like your base, your hub, where you can upgrade to basically craft like grow plants and stuff that you're gonna need for potions and that. And on the growing potions, there's timers.
Oh,
like 30-minute timers, which immediately triggered people to be like, "This looks like a mobile game mechanic."
That's fair. That's a fair point.
So it's like they had to very quickly come out and go, "No, we are not selling you microtransactions for timers."
Right. Single player game. Don't worry about it. No microtransactions. You're good to go. So, any other last thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy?
How'd y'all feel about the potential companion system?
I thought that was interesting.
I don't know. They're gonna need the companions they showed. Just the brief descriptions of them, I'm like, if you're gonna show me a companion, at least show me. It's like, show me something cool that they're gonna do, and not just show them following me around.
Right.
I don't know. Companions, I'm iffy on companions in games. It's like, if they're actually gonna be helpful, that'll be cool. If they just follow you around and yell in combat, that's gonna be annoying.
Now I just picture someone on the side yelling magic spells and like nothing happening.
Oh, it's like them just being over there, like cowering behind you while you fight.
Like you did to me on Borderlands 2.
I don't know what you're on about.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Hey, random thing for you guys, segueing away from that. Did you guys see the huge controversy involving Gran Turismo 7 this week? That shit was fucking wild.
No, I missed that one too. Damn.
Well, stuff with Gran Turismo 7, you know, it's a fucking racing game. It's got its online. It's got its microtransactions. It's got its single-player mode, right? It's single-player mode.
Okay.
Right? They apparently shut the servers down for maintenance, and it was down for legit 30 hours. But when they shut that down, it also prevented you from playing the single-player mode.
Fuck.
Yeah, so the game was completely down for 30 hours. The game is just like stupid heavy microtransactions where it costs like 2 million credits to buy a new car, which is essentially apparently two of the $20 packages of the in-game credits, whatever. So basically $40 to buy a car. You cannot sell your car to help get credits. Even though like someone dug up some old promotion for this game where they're just like, you can buy, sell, and trade your way to the top. So it's just like, well, we can't sell the cars. And then they also, when they did this big update, they also patched some like it wasn't like bugs or anything. It was just like little, you know, clever methods to really rack up and grind credits. They patched it where you get less credits that way. So basically they're forcing you to, if you want to get better cars, you're going to have to basically spend money. And because of that, it fucking obviously a massive controversy around the community where they recently, like if you log in right now, whatever, you get like 1 million credits for free or something like that. But yeah, dude, there were a lot of people pissed off about this game this past week. It was wild.
I mean, I could definitely see that because looking it up, seeing the whole people getting 1 million credits for the grindy update, I was like, if you got to grind 2 million for a vehicle, that is bullshit.
Right.
Well, I guess that, well, like you said, they patched out the easy, like the quick way to grind credits. With that, it's like, how hard is grinding credits? Is it one of those things where just playing the game, grinding it out, trying to do it, it's going to take you 30 hours to unlock a new car? Or is it one of those where they're like, is it easily accessible? It would be the other thing. Because if they just make it where it's stupid grindy, don't give you a lot of credits, going to take you like 10 hours to unlock another car or something, then it's like, okay, come on. I understand what you're trying to do, and you need to cut this shit out.
Well, from looks at it, from the things I'm looking at, it's pretty grindy yeah, it's going to take you a bit to get some without spending money.
Yeah, like they really set this game up for failure with how they have the whole thing set up that way. I was also trying to pull something else up, but I do not see it at first glance. But I was also going to mention again about about the complete shit fest that is Babylon's Fall. Because I don't know if you guys saw this, but dude, these Platinum is dead ass determined to fucking salvage this game somehow, even though it looks terrible and plays terrible, because they've already finished season 2 content and they're already starting on season 3 content, and they are sticking with it, and they are making the content for seasons 2 and 3.
Really?
Yeah, like bro, like they are dead ass determined to try to revive this game and make it work, but the reviews on it are absolutely terrible. I've got it pulled up right now on Steam. Like it's so bad. You guys want to get the game? It's only $60.
No. No.
Oh, come on, man. It looks fun. It looks like the game of the year from what I'm seeing right now with all these reviews.
I mean, Tiny Tina.
Tiny Tina did come out. I'm assuming neither of you got that.
Nah.
Not currently.
I was hoping it was going to be on Game Pass. It's not on Game Pass.
I did see where G Fuel's releasing a flavor alongside Tiny Tina. That's cherry vanilla. I love my cherry, and I love cherry vanilla, but I don't know if I want that in a G Fuel flavor. Not sure how to feel about that one.
Is it the Bunkers and Badass flavor?
Maybe. Oh God, I'm a ghost.
Wow, you're bright as hell now.
Let me close that. Let's just go to my phone.
Well, to fill time while he's looking that up, we got a new event in Lost Ark this weekend, the Casual Guardian Raid, where it's basically a Guardian Raid. It scales down. It scales everyone down to it, so everybody's playing it basically an equal playing field on it. And 3 Guardians show up in it, and you just try to complete the Guardian Raid in the time. Not hard, but it's just another event that they kind of gave us to get more honing materials. Try to give us easier honing access, because it's been a bit of a complaint with how rough honing has been.
Also, the flavor is called Tiny Tina's High Rollin' Sparkly Boom Magic.
I fucking hate that.
So do I.
There you go. Yep, that is the name of the G Fuel flavor. I am not on the wait list for that one. I am, however, on the wait list, because they also announced it literally the same day. I am on the wait list for a Moon Knight flavor that they released, because Moon Knight comes out next week. It is a hydration flavor as well, so that's pretty dope. It is a blueberry flavor, which I am here for. Plus,
I was so confused.
The box looks so cool. Look at that. It looks dope as fuck.
I don't see anything.
Piss off. Love me some G Fuel, bro. Love me some G Fuel. All right, well, I feel like we can probably wrap this up now. We feeling good about it, boys? You ready for me to hit the music and work our way out of here? Or you guys got anything else you want to shout out?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Zach?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay. I will probably this week. I don't know if I'll have time this weekend. I'm going to try. I'll see if I make time. I may check out some of the Halo show. I saw that it was getting review bombed. Like I saw that it's not good from the reviews, but I haven't actually bothered to dive into any reviews, but I will check out the Halo show sometime here soon.
What is it on again?
Paramount Plus.
Did you see the article saying that, I think it was from the writers, saying they didn't look at the source material?
I did, yeah. I did see that, so I am concerned, but I'll check it out. But, while we have that may have bombed, what we have that's coming out that's not going to bomb is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And that's all that really matters right now. No, it's going to be incredible. Movie of the year. Nothing will compete with it. No, you shut your mouth. Sonic 2 is going to be movie of the year, hands down.
You think it's going to be better than the Spider-Man at the moment?
That was 2021. This is 2022.
Was it?
Yeah, it came out in December.
Oh. Yeah. It would still count towards 2022 when you look at that stuff.
I'm strictly referring to a movie coming out from January to December.
He has to take out a movie that's actually going to be counted in that for his Sonic to take the win, so he doesn't think it's going to be better than Spider-Man.
Sonic 2 is going to by far be better than Spider-Man No Way Home. I'll go ahead and state my record right now. It's going to be better than Doctor Strange 2. It's going to be better than Thor 4. It's going to be better than whatever other movies that's coming out that's not superhero related, because I clearly watch so many movies.
I want to cut this right after he goes to see it and how disappointed he is.
Okay, listen, I have seen some early reviews, and people are raving that this movie is fucking awesome. And it is absolutely incredible. Does everything the first movie did and better. And it is a love letter to Sonic fans. And I am so excited to watch it. What is that, next week? Yeah, it's next week where it's going down, I think. No.
See, John, I'm going to cut this
week after.
When we get to some film awards at the end of the year and Sonic wins nothing.
Oh, it won't.
It won't. But it deserves to win it all. That's the fact. That is a fact. With that said, I'm going to hit the music. Boys, last words, last thoughts. Music's going. I know you can't hear it, but it's going.
Subscribe, comment, whatever your platform allows. It does help. if you're watching on this YouTube and liked whatever this shit show was,
Whoa.
you can hit that subscribe button. And if you want to know when anything's uploaded, you can hit the bell, and it'll let you know. Thank you.
But yeah, and if you've made it all the way through the end, thank you very much. Hopefully you'll come back next time. We'll get Alex off of his Sonic 2 nonsense.
Whoa.
And
I chose this color in here for a reason, because we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2 coming out. Okay, and
that's
actually,
that's not what it was.
right there. Look at that.
Looking for a light.
Sonic the Hedgehog action figure. Got a Knuckles right there. Got another Sonic right there. We're going.
You wonder why I call you a furry?
I like Sonic. What's the problem with that, bro?
Yes, and he
I'm
led
not a
you down a
furry.
path of furryism.
I'm not a furry. All right, with that said, do everything they said and more. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the show. If you did, if you didn't, that's cool too. Sonic 2 will be the best movie of this year. Hands down. I'm going to go ahead and stress that. I'll do a full breakdown and review of this wonderful film on talking about movies and stuff. And I'll also rave about it here on Gamesthetic. But anyway, yeah, we're going to go. See you next week. Hopefully we will be talking. John just got on Lost Ark. Hopefully we will be talking about the Project Spartacus and finally stop calling it that name. Until next time, we have to see you.
Bye.